Welcome back to Binchy's Garden. Today we've driven over the hill to a beautiful little country town called Korumburra. I've got my good friend Mr. Terry Opie with me. He's a former lead singer and guitarist in a rock and roll band and 20 years of horticulturalist up his sleeve, and we're going to have a look at his
mostly native slash indigenous garden. And so what I've done here is I've had to convert a cottage garden into a native garden, which has been sort of problematic because there was a lot of what I call weeds here when I moved in.
All right.
So in the last 3 years I've sort of created this garden, so it's not fully established, but this whole front section here was all agapanthus. Yeah, so I've had to dig them out, and there's still a few sort of cottagey plants left. So I've done a bit of a succession sort of plan where I didn't want to leave big gaps in the garden, so I've just sort of been chopping out sections of cottagey stuff and replacing it with native stuff. So as you see as we'll walk around, I've got mirror bush coming into the yard, I've got English ivy still coming up,
okay.
I've got I've got bamboo coming from one side.
Oh, yep.
So it's an ongoing process.
I think you've worked really well with what you've done here. You've sort of been doing bit by bit as you go.
Yeah.
Clearing out the weed species and the grandma cottagey
that's right.
plants.
Come with me. So what I've done here is I like to plant everything close together. So I kind of call it a habitat garden. So everything's densely planted together. And look, that way it sort of minimises on mulching, spraying. So
I see. It looks like you've put a good incorporated a good layer of organic matter and with your mulch and stuff there.
That's right. So for the first 2 years while the garden's establishing, I do have to mulch and spray, but once everything joins up, it's just sort of a matter of just tip pruning, sort of letting everything, find a bit of sun and find its space. So I like to create a little bit of mystery in the garden. So
a bit of mystery. We all like a bit of mystery.
So no straight lines. You want to draw people down the path.
Yep. Down the garden path.
Yeah, so the kids love this. It's a good little spot to play hide and seek. I've got the Happy Wanderer on the fence there. It's not in flower at the moment.
So what was the go with this fence here?
Oh, it's all reclaimed hardwood, and it's rough sawn. So I like to use sort of earthy tones in the garden as well because it sort of sits in the landscape nicely. And yeah, the Happy Wanderer is a great plant, a great climber. So I've just sort of repeated that. I've got the 3 of them here.
I really like it, yeah.
Thank you. And I like to repeat my planting so there's a bit of flow. So usually sort of plant in 1s and 3s, as you know, and looks a little bit more natural. And that's with a native garden. I love a natural looking native garden. I don't want it to be too manicured and
No, I think it's the fence blends in that well. You hardly ever notice it's here, and that's what I call a really good job.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, I like that little bit of privacy and that little bit of mystery because it sort of draws you down the path, and you think, oh, what's around the corner? I'm gonna go have a look. Where if it's just a straight line, you're like, what's down there.
Straight lines are boring as.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got this beautiful red gum in the corner here, which hosts a lot of bird life, and I love that. And I've just tried to tie the native garden in with the taller trees. So I love these thryptomines. They flower profusely this time of year, so that's a nice one.
Yep.
And just a mix of really common cultivars, because in Korumburra it's so wet. A lot of those rare WA species and more fancy sort of plants don't do so well here. So
I'm noticing how your thryptomine, they've got quite a bit of, they're not in full sun, sort of dappled sunshine, but they're still sort of flowering quite nicely, and I'm noticing a lot of European honeybees having a feed on there.
Yeah, well, they get the morning light because I'm in a gully here at the bottom, sort of, well, not quite at the bottom of a hill, but yeah. So the light does move around, which is sort of, you know, a little bit difficult with the native stuff, but
You get a bit of everything throughout the year, don't you?
you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Look at these, beautiful, mate. All right, now for a wander, keep wandering up here.
Yeah.
Have a look at the thryptomene have really sort of moulded into your planting there, haven't they? You've sort of done a really nice mix with everything. I noticed you got a Banksia and a Callistemens and
that's right.
a Stringer.
Yeah, and I've got the little marginata there, the Banksia marginata. That hasn't that hasn't flowered yet, but yeah.
You got an allogoing there, native hibiscus.
That's the one. Yep, the purple flowering one. So they're actually supposed to be a dwarf, but I'm forever pruning those, so I kind of, you know, I'm not sure if they'll stay or not.
Is this a ericofolia?
Yeah, it is.
Banksia ericofolia.
That's right.
And Callistemon white Anzac. Yep.
I use these scavolas a lot as well. They're a great ground cover. They seem to just smother out. And that's my thing. I just want everything smothered out so I don't have to be spraying. And
that's a great idea. Thick planting, eh?
That's right. Now I'm, you know, approaching 50. I don't want to be doing the, you know, the serious manual labour that I've done in the past. So I've got a Alocasarina pallidosa over here, which I really love. That's just like it's pretty much a short, stumpy little she oak. So
that from they grow them are they from Cape Patterson and Wonthaggi Heathland?
They are, and I get a lot of my stock from the Korumburra Blue Gum Nursery, so they grow a lot of tubes up there. So
all right.
Yeah, that's where I like to sort of, if I can get provenance, like the right stuff for this area, I try and do it. So
yeah, that's the way to go, eh? And they take off. They seem to be growing really well.
Thank you.
Do you get any frost in this area? Let's keep walking.
We don't seem to get frost. We don't seem to get the frost. I'm not sure if it's because we're under big trees or why that is. When I was in Conwack, I seemed to get a lot of frosts in that valley.
All right.
So yeah, I'm really glad I don't get the frost.
So really fireworks, is it?
That's the one.
Hybrid.
Once again,
just
a common cultivar on its own roots, because that's what seems to work okay up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these little, even these little flowers here, they only need a tiny little claw flower like this, and the honey eater birds and whatnot will, that's something for them to feed on.
Yeah, great.
All year round, you know?
Yeah.
So you've got a good selection with the Banksias and stuff there, and then you've got, you know, your little grevillea flowers like this, so it's a good all-round mix.
Thanks, Dave. I want to show you one of my favourite landscape plants. This one I don't think is used commonly enough, so it's called the tassel cord rush.
All right.
And I just absolutely love it, but I never see anyone using it, and it's one of those plants that loves the wet, because it's sort of a wetland plant.
Yep.
I think it's Balascillium tetraphyllum.
All right.
So once again, I've just sort of repeated that planting.
Yeah.
And same with this baby blue Eucalyptus pulpulorenta.
Pulpulorenta, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got 3 of those as well.
Well, they're a real nice, they've sort of added to a real nice sculpture sort of look to this space. And your tassel cord rush just has a really nice, soft, lush green appeal to this space, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it, because I just never see them, and I saw them planted in a council garden down at Malakuta, and that's what sort of got me onto them.
Yep.
But yeah, I love them. We've got these lemon-scented dwarf eucalypts, the Citriodora, and this one unfortunately snapped in half with the last storm. So what I'm doing is I'm just letting it grow, and I'm trying to find a main leader, with the apical dominant. So once I find that main leader, then I'll prune that one up.
All right.
And fingers crossed it will survive. But
what did the top snap out of it?
Yeah, the top completely snapped off. I'll show you the one down here which wasn't affected. This one here, which is a beauty. And I'll give that some. They've
got a nice scent, a nice smell, haven't they, to the leaves?
They certainly do. They're one of my favourite. And as you'll see at the back, I've got a lot of bigger trees in the Botanic Garden.
Yep.
So I'm only planting dwarfs, because this is just sort of, it's really a double house block, or so it's not a huge area. So I don't want big trees.
Blocking out any more sun.
That's right. 'Cause this area is a bit more of a shady area, so I've put in this plectorantha, which sort of ties in with this little bit of cottagey stuff that's still here. Come and have a feel of this one. It's as smooth as the inside of a mouse's ear.
Yeah, right. Is this what a mouse's ear feels like, is it?
That's it, mate.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
It's growing, I see you've given it a bit of lowered the ears, given it a bit of a chop back.
That's
and
it.
it's growing really well in this fairly shady area, isn't it?
Exactly. And this area is not as well established because I do have all this stuff next door sort of blocking the light. So,
Right. Does this flower well in this position?
Yeah, it does. It actually actually makes a nice cut flower as well. Sometimes I put it in on the table when I'm entertaining guests.
Oh,
yeah.
And you have a special visitor?
Special visitor, which is never.
All right.
Gardenia ovata, and that's the prostrate one, which I really love. That one just smothers out huge areas once again. So,
and that keeps the weeds at bay, doesn't it?
Exactly right.
Yep.
So, sort of why I bought the place, because John Kurrell, who originally built this place, he was like a custodian of the Botanic Gardens. So if you go down to the entrance, he's got his name on a plaque down there. So when I moved in and realised that, I sort of thought this place almost chose me, being a passionate gardener too.
Yep. Can see why.
Yeah.
Look at all the native birds flying around.
Oh, It's great. So that's what I've tried to do. I've just tried to tie in my garden with the borrowed view that I've got here.
All right.
So I've got these great southern blue gums, the Eucalyptus globulus.
Oh yeah, globulus. Yep.
Yeah. And
beautiful.
They host so many birds. Like some nights there could be 100 birds in the one tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, like lorikeets and...
Lorikeets. I get the black cockatoos. So once again here, I've planted the Lomandra longifolia on repeat, and I grew these from seed. And that is a great habitat for small birds because they love the spiky stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a good spot for the smaller birds to hide because I don't want to scare them away. I don't want the bigger wattle birds and stuff bullying them. So
yeah, you got to have plenty of room for them to hide.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
you've done well along here. Tied it all in.
Thanks, mate.
Nicely.
And once again, it's just a lot of indigenous stuff on repeat. Plus, I've got this pincushion hakea here.
Oh, yep.
Lorena.
Yep.
That's just starting to flower for the first time.
Nice. And you've used some, you've got some Coria alba in amongst here. And...
Yeah. Look, to some people it might just look like a mess, but it's
it's a good mess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I've got this grevillea here, which the dogs love.
Yeah.
It's not in flower at the moment.
Have a look at these ferns. Are these native species, Tez?
They are. These are Dicksonia antarctica. Just wanted to show you these because these are the same age as me. These are probably 40.
Must be pretty old then, aren't they?
This house was built in 1976, the same year I was born. So I'm tipping these were probably planted then. And if you have a look at them, they are absolutely pumping.
They're beautiful, mate.
Yeah.
Is this the area you had the snake?
This is where I had my little tiger snake in here. Yeah. Over here I've got a couple of flame trees which your good friend and my good friend Simon Gilliland grew from seed.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Brachychiton aceriifolius over here.
That'll grow up and fill that space really nicely there.
Yeah, it's just sort of starting to get a bit of sun on the crown of it now. So
yep.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those in, and that sort of ties in with this little garden here where I've got the purple flags, Pattersonia.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're not in flower at the moment.
They're a lovely little addition to the garden. What's this? This is a Kings Park grevillea, I think it's.
That's
I think it's Outback Sunrise or something like that.
That might be the one.
Yeah.
Another common one, but it seems to do really well here. So
yeah,
I figure, yep, I'll go with it.
Yep.
And here's another Brachychiton, the rupestris, and this is the Queensland bottle tree, and they're another nice feature plant.
It's starting to take off, isn't it?
Oh, it's only been in 3 years, and it's starting to get some nice girth up the trunk there. So
you know why it's going so well? Yeah. Because they love the runoff.
Yeah,
the water.
they do.
Yeah,
they do.
They thrive on that, eh?
And what I did was, because this is quite a clay area, I dug a huge hole, probably about a metre down and filled it with a sandy loam and raised the soil line just there. Because I've had a few that have, I grew a few in Conwack, and the taproot just seemed to rot out.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that happening with this one. And yeah, it's doing really well.
You've done great, mate.
Got a couple more grevilleas here, just the peaches and cream.
Yeah, the peaches and cream are a good
It's
all
bulletproof.
year round performer, aren't they?
Yeah, it's bulletproof and great for people starting out with natives.
Yep.
Little Scarlet Moon there, which has got its first flower on it.
Oh, nice.
My daughter's name's Scarlet, so that's a favourite.
So it's extra special.
Yeah. And once again, more Banksias over here. This is sort of where I like to sit and have a cup of tea. So when I just create a garden, I like to create as many little spots to sit, have a cup of tea, or have a stubby, or
Now you're really showing your age.
yeah, or a stubby,
Or a stubby.
whatever you're into. It's just nice to create as many little spots to sit. Like I've got a spot over here, one over here, one over there.
You do your meditation and
If you can't be in the surf, I figure you may as well be in the garden. Like
yeah. Wow.
It's
That's what it's all about. Have a look at this Banksia ericafolia. Is that this is just a normal ericafolia? Or?
yeah, that only grows to 1.5 meters. So I sort of want to layer the garden up once again to tie in with that borrowed view. So I didn't want to put anything too big in.
All right.
And I've got a eucalyptus maculata over there, which is the dwarf spotted gum.
Oh, that's growing really well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really happy. So
Yep.
and I want to show you my I've got a swamp Banksia down here, which has just started to flower up.
All right.
It's the robar, isn't it? The Banksia
Banksia
robar.
robar, yeah.
Yeah. And this one's from the northern New South Wales coast up to Queensland. And it's in it, like it likes inundation sort of areas where it's seasonally wet.
Yep.
And that's another one. It's just bulletproof for up here in the hills. It's just loving it.
It's loving that little position there, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And you've got, what are these, some coria?
Yeah, reflexers there. Yep, got some coria reflexer.
You've got everything trimmed up really nice too. Like you can tell it's going to keep them really nice and compact, and they'll flower really well.
Yeah, I've just given it a little haircut.
Yeah.
I want to show you a couple of my favourite screening plants because I'm forever screening, and
I'm sure the viewers will be interested to find out, to have a look at what you've screened.
Thank you.
What you're using as a screening plant here.
That's it. So here I've got the Dodonea, which is like the local hop bush.
Yep.
And I like the green one. Like you can get a.
The purple.
Yeah, I don't like purple in the garden for some reason.
All right.
I like more nuanced sort of stuff. So this is one of my favourites, and that's about full size.
Yep.
And the other one is this golden spray, the Vimineria junkia.
Yeah.
It's not in flower at the moment, but that's a profuse flowering plant as well. And the black cockatoos come in and just hammer that one.
It all helps. You've got a lovely backdrop with this botanic garden, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's the kids love it as well because they're out there exploring.
Yep. Do they go out in here?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's a nice little creek at the bottom where the local land care group are revegetating and doing some weed control. So it's a real gardener's place to live. My neighbour John's a great gardener. He's right into it.
He's got a massive garden in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, John's got a huge garden in there, and there's a landscape.
Is that his geese I can hear? Has he got geese?
He's got I've forgotten what they're called. Yeah, he's got some sort of guinea fowl or something. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so he's got a beautiful garden, and there's a landscape architect in the next street that's right into it, and my neighbours on the other side are into their garden.
That's a real gardener's paradise here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, well, appreciate you showing us your tranquil garden setting in Korumburra, mate.
No worries, anytime.
Nice spot here.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for coming down. And
yeah, you're welcome, mate.
All right.
Yeah, it's been good having a bit of a nice look around and seeing what you've achieved.
Cheers.
So you've done really well.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Cheers.